Good afternoon, everyone. Gabe Velazquez here with you, transparenttradesolutions.com on a Tuesday. This is 29th October. Let's get right into the charts. Again, subscribe to the newsletter. There's a link below. Give me a thumbs up. Standout today, Bitcoin. I've been writing about it, talking about it. Let's get right into the charts. And couple things, Bitcoin hitting, let's say, let me show you here. Right up against the old highs. Bitcoin futures is what I track here. And again, this is a manifestation of a Republican win, Trump victory. I think this has been really what's driving this. The question is, obviously, you can't short this because it's at an all-time high. How high does it go? And is this just another trap that, remember, halving drove the first high, and then we have essentially been in a sideways pattern for 6 months. With everybody just kind of hyped up on Bitcoin, it would be interesting to see. Unfortunately, there were just no kind of pullbacks. Only the breakout actually was what got you in. The major pullbacks came back in September, and there were really, again, also in retrospect, it was again, it's been very, very choppy. But in any event, that's the standout today. Leading into the election, how high it's going to go, whether it's going to be a buy the rumor, sell the news. I would be very careful chasing this on one hand, but on the other hand, you probably want to buy pullbacks. And if we have a big reversal like this on the first retest of the highs, could be a good short at this point. But it is worth watching. So that's really the standout. Also, the Nasdaq kind of leading today, very similar. There's a correlation between the Nasdaq and Bitcoin, although we still haven't technically broken out. We are right touching at the top end of this kind of range here, and I think ultimately, again, if Google blows out tonight, we got Google, AMD, and then Amazon, Meta, and Apple later. I think that's probably going to propel the Nasdaq to an all-time high and catching up to the S&P. That S&P really didn't do much today. It's still kind of just churning here, going sideways. But obviously, that probably, if the mega caps all report positive earnings, could probably make another nominal new high. I don't see it running away. Also, yields came off today. Talking about the yields market, that's been obviously on everybody's talking about it. We actually came close to this area here. We pulled back. We have core PCE on Thursday. We'll see if that actually changes the dynamic. Obviously the market's gotten pretty extended on the 10-year, on the price of the 10-year. We're kind of trying to hold that level right there, the 117. And then there's also some really good looking levels on some of these other markets here, and the 5-year also. So we're approaching some really decent levels in terms of interest rates, but we'll see. Also, you got Bank of Japan coming out on, I think, tomorrow, and that could move the yen. Yen sitting right at some critical levels also, right there on the dollar-yen pair, which translates into, where we're at here. So that could be a situation coming up. Gold made another new high, almost along with Bitcoin, and then silver trying to catch up. I think silver also at least tries for another at 35, and this is going to be the critical point here with silver. Is it actually going to come up here and fail, or is it going to make another leg higher? But again, what typically happens is you get one high, and then you'll always at minimum retest that, like we did here and here. So that's probably where we're headed. Again, the question is how what it does at the highs. If it fails, then obviously that could be a major top forming in silver. with regards to that. We had a big drop in, as everybody knows, we had a big drop in oil from the fact that the Israel attack on Iran was spared some of the oil facilities there. And now we're kind of just consolidating that move. Whether we stay here and then drop below there, this is again just a consolidation move against that gap. That gap fill will be a pretty decent trade going forward. And then there's nothing below current price with regards to any kind of buy zones other than just the bottom part. The way you want to look at this, again, I wrote about this over the weekend, is you look at that and just say, well, the bottom part of the range is roughly at 64. The top end of the range is about 80. That's all you got to work with here in terms of levels. Really not a bunch of levels. I think you'd have to form some kind of demand levels to get long on that, on oil. Nat gas did get caught up in that whole energy sell-off over the weekend. So what happened is after it was looking pretty good, we rallied and then came off. UNG, which is what we've been tracking more or less, because all these distortion, we had a massive, kind of contango move on the adjustment on the charts, which it's kind of just creates this massive gap. As long as it holds 13, UNG could be okay. And the fact that this sell-off didn't take those lows out, if we can turn higher at 1350, I think that would actually be, I thought that was a little bit of an overreaction, as they sold off all the energy components over the weekend. So we'll see what happens with that. That's pretty much sums it up. We'll obviously, as we move closer to the election, lots of stuff. Is it going to be a buy the rumor, sell the news? And then obviously that's still about a week away. It's all kind of stuff could happen. In the meantime, we still have all these earnings. We have the core PCE on Thursday. We got jobs number on Friday, and then culminating with next week, Tuesday, with the election results. So lots of stuff still going on. Markets still seem to be somewhat bullish. Just looking at the charts, nothing else. But we'll see if any of that changes, and if there's going to be a buy the news, sell an unwind on all of these. Bitcoin. You can make a case for a lot of these trades in anticipation of a Republican victory, but if that doesn't happen, then look out below. I think the reversals could be pretty significant. So that sums it up. Again, if you want to sign up for the newsletter and any of that, contact me at support@transparenttrading solutions.com at the bottom of the link. Okay, take care. Have a great rest of your week.